3 questions or 3 people in each round. Who has questions, please put up your hands. Okay, I saw you first. So the gray sweater. Gentleman in the back corner that had his hand up first, I believe it's Mr. Bruneau. So he's second, and right here, number 3. And if you remember your number so that the 2 people with the microphones can come around and get it. So, question number 1, please.
Could you please explain what a stakeholder is?
As well, there have been different groups in the areas, certainly Rossdale Community League, Strathcona Community League, Bruneau, Aboriginal groups, and so forth. Those would all be considered stakeholders. So essentially what we're trying to define, I guess, is people with a true interest in the project. By all means, that list isn't completed. If somebody would like to be onto our contact list, by all means fill in the information form and just state that on there, and we'll make sure that we include you in any further correspondence and so forth. Primarily at this point, what we're using is open houses, the website. There'll be, I guess, newsletters and so forth as the project progresses to try and keep everyone informed. So I don't know if I answered your question completely or not.
Thank you.
Number 2 at the back of the room, please.
Yeah, I have a very long question. I want to know, why are we putting this bridge in this location? Why are we putting this bridge in the cemetery boundary? Why are we putting this bridge close to where my ancestors lie? There's been a terrible breach of consultation here. We used to have meetings in here, and the city brought this up to us, 06, 07, that we need to replace this bridge. And then they stopped meeting with us. And they finally put together their plans. And then they started having open houses. We weren't involved in these plans. After our protest, we hear that they had 6 different locations up where, altogether. They didn't once talk to us. I am chief of the Papaschase First Nation. We have 31 people buried in there that we know of. On the Bruneau side, I have 3, 4. So this becomes a legal issue. So I want to know, why is the city continuing to put this bridge at this location? I know it's expedient, as you say, but so are other locations. Go across that core site, go on the west side of the Walterdale Bridge. Why does it have to be this location?
Okay, we'll respond to that.
I guess a lot of work was done during the concept phase as far as looking at alternatives from a number of standpoints. One of them being noting the historical heritage of the site in Rossdale Flats and whatnot. I guess in a nutshell, the best solution was to put the bridge, the new bridge, in a location where we're able to keep the old bridge functioning so we don't have to close traffic down, but as well, probably more importantly, to minimize the impact on the north side. And when you look at the amount of road work that we're required to do to put the new bridge in, it's the smallest part of the land on the north side is impacted with the bridge in this island. As Alan had said, we will continue to invite comments and consultation as we look to relocate that valve here, because it's a very important part of the history of that location. We want to put it in the best location to allow people that travel through that area in the future to learn a little bit about the history there.
But also development is always at our expense.
Sorry, we didn't get, can you speak into the microphone, John, please?
When it comes to development, it's always at our expense. When it comes to land issues, we're the ones who always get shafted. You know, this whole issue, this whole idea You guys got it approved by city council, but you didn't even talk to us. You got approval from 6 people. You didn't once talk to us. You didn't contact us or other stakeholders that used to meet here. You guys have the contact information. You didn't even talk to us. Who are these 6 people that you contacted? You didn't contact any of the people that were coming to these meetings. You do not have proper consultation. We used to meet here. We got a lot done. We got a memorial. We got people reburied back there. We got a monument built. We got the road closed that was going over top the burials. We got all this done working together, and then you exclude us from this project. That's not consultation. That's not right.
You know, as far as the process for taking this, the concept plan and turning it into a bridge that we can build, we're required to do certain things, and we're going to continue to do those. We're going to ask for advice and consult with the Aboriginal communities that you know, that we know that have an interest out there, and we're excited about the project for the opportunities that we can have to get this done right, knowing that this bridge is going to be designed for 100 years. You know, when the work was done to create that parcel of land for the cemetery boundary and the Belvedere, the bridge that was existing was old. We're going to do it right, and so that the next 100 years people will be able to enjoy this area.
Ideas of this bridge. There's a person that's also buried down here, our hero. He's happens to be a person that saved Father Albertone's life from drowning. He's buried at Rossdale. Where in that area, we don't want him dug out and minimized. The men I've talked to know the area. Just in fact, I was talking to another fellow in the city of Edmonton, on the south side of Edmonton. They found skeletal remains in the 70s. These things, the city of Edmonton is not going to tell you. We estimate there's at least 1,000 people buried at Rossdale. In 1914, when that bridge was being built, there was a protest for that bridge not to be built. None of you guys heard this. I've talked to the old folks that lived in the area, the people that went over our ancestors' burial ground as young kids. This information has to be shared and known. I want a show of hands whose ancestors have been dug out of the ground in the last little while and dumped in the garbage. Show of hands. 1, 2. The rest, how come? Why? This idea is not right. This is probably one of the richest historical areas in Alberta, and you're digging it up again for a bridge. There's war veterans of 1812 buried at Rossdale. 1958, there was an off-duty RCMP that described the whole area of Rossdale. He described it in detail. Why do we have to put up with this? The last body that was dug out was on the south side of Edmonton. It was thrown in the garbage when we put the LRT through. Please stop. This is cultural genocide. We don't like it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Response? Any comment? Okay.